Morning. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Love 500 and welcome back to day 2 on Project Mint with No Name. Today we are going to try and get this car, I was going to say try and get this car finished in this video, but I think there's a little bit too much left to do to get it finished. So we're going to carry on. There'll probably be one more video I reckon after this one. We'll carry on, get as much of it done in this video as we can. With no further ado, let's get on with it. Let's go on day 2 of Project Mint with No Name. Let's go. So we know what's going on under here. It's all a bit mucky as it always is. What we need to do is give it all a good clean. Same goes for the other side. We're not going to do the rears at the moment. Obviously we'll do that at a later date, but I want to get it down on its wheels. As you know, the wheels are absolutely rotten, so they are going to get the acid treatment. Once we've cleaned those, we'll get it all back on, jack it up, get it back on its wheels, and then we can have a little reverse up the drive. And then we can carry on in this video with the cleaning of the interior, and we'll give it a damn good wash. It needs one. We've got to do all these bits of paint as well. We'll probably try and get those done in this video as well. So let's get on. No further ado, let's get it all cleaned underneath. Right, that's acid wheel cleaner on both the wheels. They are going to need a little bit of a refurb, these wheels. And the other sides, of course, are equally as bad, if not worse. But they've all been sprayed. This is a different one. This is a, I think this is a Maguire's. No, it's not Maguire's. Can't remember what it is now. I've just put it away. I can't find the other one. I think I might have bought that one as a test to see what it's like. I've run out of the other one. So I'm probably going to get some more, because the one I've just bought is ready to use, whereas the other one you can use it ready to use, but you dilute it. I always dilute it 3:1, which is strong enough for this type of thing. So although it's more expensive, this is probably more cost effective than this one. Depends how it goes. I've got to give it an agitation with the brush first. Let's do that. So I've got an old detailing brush here, which I'll get deep inside. discovered, as you saw there, that my trusty old Karsha K4 has now had it. The pump has leaked. It happened to me on an old one once before, and when it happened once before, it just wasn't worth repairing it. I don't know why. I'm not going to take it apart to find out why. Yeah, I'm just going to get myself a new one. I've had that one quite a few years now, so it served me well. It gets used quite a lot. So yeah, time for a new one, I think. Right, that's looking a bit better now, isn't it? Now it's back on its feet. Wheels are cleaned, so they will need a spruce up, those wheels, but they are really nice wheels. Those, do like those ones. 16-inch as well, 16 by 195 profile. Yeah, I like those. They look really good. They look better once they've been touched up. Probably some of it is going to need sanding back, but sorry, my wife was pulling faces at me out the window and I tried to get her on film then. Yeah, some of it will need sanding back, just around the edges and then painting, but yeah, good. Right, let's take it around the block. Right, welcome back. Today we are going to clean the seats. We're also, once I've cleaned the seats, going to change these door handles. Hinge on the other side, no, hinge on this side, entire door handle on the other side. Now the seats are quite grubby. Carpet wise, it really only needs a hoover. Don't need to take the seats out. There's no reason to take the seats out at all. Obviously we'll take that one out because that's just easier. Yeah, so that's the plan. Get it cleaned as much as we can. Get the carpets cleaned as much as we can without wet cleaning them. And do the door handles. Desperately needs a clean on the inside as well. Look at the state of that steering wheel. Minging, absolutely minging. The other thing we got to do on here, or one of them, there's a few things we need to do on here, but one of the important ones to do is we've got no heat coming from that bloody climate control. So I have got some instructions on how to do it, which I will be featuring on here. Hopefully I'm going to be able to fix it. If I can't, I don't know what I'm going to do. But hopefully one way or the other we should be able to fix it. So let's get these seats cleaned. Right, okay, so that's the seats all cleaned and the boot carpet. Thrown the mats away. We'll put a new fresh set of mats in. Obviously this will all be cleaned up once the seats are all dry. They come up quite nice. They're wet at the moment, of course. Any patches that are left we'll go over again with some the old foam, the old Simon Eyes foam stuff, which is always good for patches. Remember to do the door cards this time. So they're all nice and clean, the material anyway. There was a little bit of mould on the floor, so I've done that. I don't intend to take the seats out, but any other, we'll get some mould killer on it and sort that out. So back seats, yeah, that one is, the base is in the conservatory, drying, and I put the boot carpet in the living room, drying. Yeah, it's easy to do that. So what else do we need to do? Door handles, that's the most important thing at the moment. So we've got a hinge on this one. I just want to make sure, actually, while I think of it, no, this wasn't a stolen recovered, was it? So these, not an issue with the keys for this one. Right, that's that one done. And now the other side, we've got to change the whole handle. Now this is where we had the problem with the one that I bought, only not having the little clip thing in. But hopefully the clip in here I can get out in one piece. They're quite tricky to get out. You have to like compress the ends of them and then pull them. Quite difficult sometimes. It's not to lose the light. Right, so yeah, let's do this one. Do the entire handle. I'm not going to film it again for this car. I filmed it for the Bath this afternoon. So I've actually changed. So once I've done this one, I would have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 handles over the last 2 days. Oh my God. And not my favourite job. And I've had to do 5 of them. Right, it's getting dark now. As you can see, lights are on. We're done for the day. We will be doing more tomorrow, but we are done for the day. New door handles all round, which is good, all working lovely. So we are coming on in leaps and bounds on this car now. Seats are beautiful. I've already shown you the seats, I believe. Lovely and clean, they're drying out nicely. Still sopping wet actually, but yeah, coming along nicely now. Well pleased with this. The only thing that's worrying me is that climate control not working. So tomorrow, I think I've already said, tomorrow we're going to do the service and the flush that oil. What else we got to do? We got to, I don't know, I can't think. Service, oil, don't need any tyres. Tyres are good all the way around. We've cleaned all the wheels, haven't we, I think? Maybe a bit of wheel touching up to do. Speedo, I've got to change the speedo. I am going to send the speedo off for repair, but I'm going to put in another speedo. Actually, do I need to do that? Probably not, because they turn it around in a day. So I probably don't need to. I might as well get it repaired. £139. I have been given 2 speedos by one of my lovely subscribers, but I think I'm going to save them for a rainy day. You know, if I have the screens go out or something like that. For this, it's the usual problem. So we'll document that, I think, and might get that speedo out tomorrow and get it sent off. I haven't got the MOT to the week after next, so they come back as soon as they received it. They do it, and it comes back next day by special delivery. So you can't complain about that. Right, so we are up on ramps. We've had the heater in the car, trying to dry the seats off there. It's lovely and toasty in there at the moment. But of course, we got no heater in the car because the heater doesn't work. So we'll be covering that in a future video. But we need to do the engine flush. So I'm just running the engine up to temperature. It's been on for about 5 minutes. I'm going to leave it another 5 minutes till it's at normal running temperature. I am worried about running out of petrol. I think it's all right, just sitting there ticking over. But I will need to get some before the cam belt's done next week. I think I'll probably go out with the air cons on, in case you're wondering what that noise was. Yeah, before the cam belt's done, I'll go out with a can and get some petrol and put it in there. So what I'm going to do, so we've got, as I say, got to leave it to run, get it to running temperature, pour this stuff in, run it for about 10 minutes or so, drop the oil, change the filter. I'm then going to put in another, put a cheap oil. I've got this stuff, which is fully synthetic. I'm not sure how much is in there, but I'll find some other oil as well. I think I've got some other oil. There's not enough there, but it'll do for the time being. Put that in, change the, again, run it up to temperature, then we'll drop the oil again, change the filter again, and then put the new oil in, and that hopefully will take care of it. I think it will. The car runs fine, like a dream. This is more of a preventative thing, going by what that oil looked like, and it'd be very interesting to see what the oil looks like when it comes out. We'll show you when it comes out. I won't be able to really film it coming out the hole, but I'll show you it afterwards and see if it's mucky. It's going to be very, very black. God knows when it was last done. Need to chase the service history up on this still, but that will be something to be coming afterwards. So I'll be back once we're warmed up, and we'll go from there. Right, we're up to running temperature now. Just something that I thought I'd look at was, I did wonder initially whether it could be the thermostat. Now, this pipe here is nice and hot, but this pipe here is completely cold. Completely cold. So it's like there's no hot water, hot coolant, getting into the heater matrix because that pipe is completely cold. That's the pipe that feeds the heater matrix down the back there, which is interesting. I assume we have got coolant. Have I checked the coolant? I'm not sure. I think what we're going to do once we've done all this servicing, I think I'm going to change. I've got thermostats, and I've got the metal ones as well. So that would be a bit of preventative maintenance anyway. And then I can do the earth strap as well, because obviously all this needs to come out to get to the thermostat. So I may as well do that at the same time. Put a new earth strap on as well. So it would be really good news if it was the thermostat. And the fact that that pipe is cold makes me think it is. So that could possibly be good news. Okay. So we'll get this poured in. And then what we'll do is we'll restart the engine, it says for 10 or 15 minutes, and then drain the oil down. Never done this before. Never needed to. In theory, this is quite a good thing to do, I suppose, on your car. You know, even if you've had it regularly serviced, maybe every, I don't know, 20,000, every 20,000 miles or something, I don't know. Right, there you go, that's that in. Then what we'll do, put the cap back on, restart the engine, run it for 10 or 15 minutes, I'll have a cup of tea, and then we'll come back and we'll drop the oil. Right, I've just done a Facebook, I've just done a YouTube live, a lot of noise because the fan is running at full speed, as you can hear. It was going at low speed, and the last 5 minutes it's been going at high speed. I think, and a couple of people agreed with me when I went live, that the thermostat is gone. When I say gone, I mean the temperature, water temperature sensor. That pipe is still hot, and that one is still stone cold. So there's no water getting through to there, so I reckon that the thermostat is locked in the closed position. So that will be good news. So what we're going to do next week is take the battery out, take the ECU out, change the thermostat, put a new earth strap in as well, which we always do now anyway. So I think we've been running about 10 minutes now, so I think I'm going to switch it off. I'm going to leave it a couple more minutes, switch it off, and then we'll start to drain it down. Right, I don't know if you can see that. The oil filter's quite rusty. But I've already started unscrewing it. I can do it by hand for the final bit. Oh, excuse my fingers. Trying to get you on camera at the same time. Right, I want to see this. Oh no, it's not going to do it. Hang on, I'm going to need to loosen it a bit more. Right, here we go. So we're going to try and do this. See what it looks like when it comes out. Ooh, steam, ooh, splashing everywhere. It's quite thin, but then of course I've poured that stuff in it. Most of that, what's come out. I mean, that was all new oil, because if you remember, the oil was dry, wasn't it? The oil was completely dry. Not registering on the dipstick, so I topped it up with new oil, only a top up, didn't fill it up, and then I've just put probably, was it a litre of the of that stuff in it. So we'll let that finish draining. There's a few little blobs coming out there. We'll leave that for 5 minutes or so, let it drain. My gloves are covered in oil now. And then we'll change the filter, and then we'll top up with the cheap oil and do it all again. Right, that was the most difficult oil filter ever. I could not get it off. It's taken me 20 minutes to get that oil filter off. Absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare. That's not it. Oh, it's in the bag here, but it's absolutely destroyed. The reason I've got two here, I put a new one on. I tried to put this one on, and it wouldn't screw on. I think it was this one. No, it was this one. As you can see, there's some oil over it. I tried to put this one on, and I couldn't get it to screw on. There must be something wrong with the thread. It was only going on a tiny bit, and then I was having to turn it with that, and it felt like it was going on wrong. So I thought, no, don't want to mess the thread up. Take it off. So I took it off, and then put the other one on, and that one went on fine. And I have got another one as well, thankfully. It's a Bosch one as well, so it must be a dodgy thread. And I just didn't want to force it and put it and tighten it up and end up messing the thread up. So I'm not going to use that one. Seems a waste, but hopefully that one's okay. Yeah, never had that before. I thought, first of all, of course it was the car rather than the oil filter. But the other one's gone on absolutely fine. So we're now going to run that up for about 10 or 15 minutes again, up to temperature. And then we'll drop the oil again. And we'll change the filter again. Obviously it'll come off easy this time. And then that'll be that, hopefully. So I've got that other oil in there, which is not the right oil for the car. But we're just going to dump it. So once we've had it running for a little bit. Yeah, we're getting there, slowly but surely. I've splashed oil everywhere, God, on my driveway. I'll have to get some elbow grease on that later, give it a scrub. That's because of that stuff that was in it. It was so watery, the force of it coming out of the sump, it's just splashed everywhere. That's why I put cardboard down. But unfortunately, the cardboard doesn't go all the way across. Oh well, never mind. These things happen. Just don't tell my neighbour. Right, there we go, done. So 2 oil changes in one. Now we've got the proper oil in, 2.8 litres and a little bit more, just for good luck. I'm just going to run it up again now, make sure there's no leaks. Don't think there will be. And then we're done. And I've got all that lot. There's going to be, I don't know, quite a lot. There's probably 4 litres there. So we had about 1.5 litres of ordinary oil. Then we had probably 1 litre of whatever was in that can. And then probably another 2 litres. Yeah, there's a good 5 litres there, I reckon, which I've got to decant into my waste oil, wherever they are. Over here. One's part 4, so should just be enough room in those. That's it for now. Right, okay, so today was cambelt day. Cambelt has been done. A little bit to tell you, so excuse the waffle. So, as you know, heater, no heat coming out the heater, which I've been researching on the flap actuators, etc., of what's causing the issue. I went over it the other day and we decided that there was a pipe getting hot, feeding the radiator, not going to the heater matrix, nothing whatsoever. Glenn has come along today and he has done the cam belt. What he discovered, when he took the water pump off, there was nothing coming out, no coolant. He said, not a drip. And when he put the cam belt on, put the new water pump on, he said, well, I stood there while he did it. He poured almost 5 litres of water into it, coolant into it. And as he did it, coolant is all dripping out the bottom. We think out the radiator. We didn't get underneath and have a look, but we're pretty certain it's coming out the radiator. So I didn't change that radiator. It looked perfectly all right. I never gave it a thought that it wouldn't be. I didn't bother topping it up because I knew the cam belt was going to be done. So I thought there's no point because it's just going to drop it all. Which is why I didn't test for an airlock either. So there quite clearly is an airlock, but that's because there's no coolant in it. unless there's an airlock that's stopping the coolant from, I don't know. But as far as we can tell, it took nearly 5 litres of coolant and nothing came out beforehand. So, luckily, I got a radiator down there. Now that looked completely untouched, that radiator, but it's going to be that. Unless it's a hose down the bottom. It could be a hose down the bottom, potentially, but obviously we'll have a look at that. It could be that the hose is split, you never know. We'll get it off, we'll have a look, and then we'll put the new radiator on, or if it happens to be a hose, I've got spare hoses, we'll put a new hose on. I don't think it's going to be the hose, I think it's going to be the rad. So I'll pop the bonnet. There's still quite a lot to do. MOT is next Wednesday. Today is Friday. I'm at work on Monday and Tuesday. I don't do this at the weekend. The weather is horrible. It's raining. It's been sleet today, or hail, I should say, not sleet. And it's really cold and damp and horrible. But it hopefully won't take me too long, and I won't be crawling around underneath the car. So I thought, you know what, let's just come out here, get cold, get it done. Then I know at least I can then drive the car. There's still a couple of bits and pieces to do to get it through the MOT, but we'll get that done. That won't take very long. It's tightening stuff up, that type of thing. So luckily for me, because why did I not do that? Let me think. I don't know. I just put the bumper on it, held on with 2 bolts. So the bumper was just going to pop off, which is good. So let's get the bumper off. Let's get it done. I'm going to set you up on time lapse, and then I'll see you when we get it off. We'll come back and take a little look at it, see if we can figure out where it's leaking from. Glenn's left the coolant in there. By putting the cap on, you create a vacuum, so it's not leaking out. So I need to get a container underneath it to catch it. And then hopefully we can reuse it, as it's all new coolant as well that he's put in. Yeah, let's get on with it. Let's do it. Right, so far so good. Everything all back together again, apart from the bar on, obviously. You probably saw me on time lapse. I released that, poured more water in until it came up to, until it came out bubbling out of there. Pipes aren't getting hot yet. That one's slightly warm, or that one's warm as well, which that wasn't warm before. There was nothing in it. It was running dry. But that must have only been when the accident, because there must have been a hole in there somewhere. Can't see anything in here. This is the old Rad. Nothing's obvious. It is a bit rusty around there, so whether it's leaking somewhere there, but there's nothing obvious anywhere that it's got a hole in. As you can see, look, it's perfectly good radiator. But yeah, don't know. Not sure where it's leaking from, but it is leaking. Unless there's a split in the plastic somewhere, maybe, that I can't see. I couldn't see where it was coming from. That's the thing, but it's holding it now. And if we look down there, I don't know if you can see, probably not. Actually, looks like it's stopped bubbling. Yeah, that's definitely got some warmth in that now, in that hose. So I'm going to put that back on and leave it running for a bit longer. Wait till those get nice and warm. I've got the heater going full blast, so I'm hoping and praying the hot air is coming out, or will come out. I'm not going to check yet, but yeah, hoping and praying that this is going to sort it. That'll be a weight off my mind. I'm glad I did it today. Right, we'll come back in a bit. I'm going to put the bar back on. I won't bother me filming that. Putting that, I'm just going to put the bar all back on again. So that's, I know the radiator's not leaking, so that's the main thing. Good. Right, let's do it. Right, still warming up. I haven't checked inside yet still. I'm just getting the bumper on, and we've got hail starting, so yeah, I thought I'd come in the garage out of the hail. It's been doing this on and off all day. So yeah, I'm just putting the bumper back on, and then it seems to be warm. No fan coming in like it did before, but that obviously was because there was no coolant in it. And then we'll get in the car and see if there's any warm air coming in. Hopefully, fingers crossed there is. We'll see. I'll be back once this hail stops. I'll finish putting the bumper on, and then we'll get inside the car and see if it's any warmth. Fingers crossed. Right, okay, bumper's on. I haven't got the other bolts in yet because they're in the boot. And one thing that I remembered that is wrong with this car that needs sorting out is the micro switch has gone on here. So it might be that the rod, there's a little metal rod on this that holds this bit of handle in, and it can move across. And if it moves across and it doesn't actuate the micro switch, it does move, but it's not clicking, and of course it's not. Oh, made me out to be a liar then. Oh, it is working now. That's strange. And what I want out of here is the bolts. Now, that's really weird. That wasn't working, and now it is. How bizarre is that? So I don't need to change that. All of a sudden. Maybe it's just me doing it on the handle that was enough to get it going, get it working. That's really strange. Maybe it was just gunged up or something. We'll keep an eye on that. If we need to change it, we will. I'm just going to get these last nuts in. Actually, I'm going to get the nuts in on the top, and then because I've got to turn the steering wheel to get the ones in the wheel arch. So I will, once I've done these top ones, I'll shut the bonnet. We'll get in the car. See if there's warmth. Fingers crossed. Right, that's it. Bumper's back on. The bonnet will need some adjustment. I haven't bothered doing. Oh, I've got to put the side ones in yet. Actually, oh yeah, of course, because we're going to get in the car. It needs adjustment. I haven't bothered doing that yet because I've got to try and pull that dent out. If I can't pull that dent out or pull it out sufficiently, I've got another bonnet to put on. So I'm not bothering adjusting it for now. It's fine to go for MOT like that. If I happen to be able to do that before the MOT, all well and good. If not, it don't really matter. I can do it afterwards. And I can't go pulling dents out in this sort of weather. I bought some more cold glue. I have got cold glue already. Cold glue doesn't necessarily like the cold. It likes it to be warm, even though it's called cold glue. I think that's probably more of a chance of getting that out with that. But I will also use the heat as well. You know, hot glue. Hopefully, I'm hoping it's going to come out. I really don't know. It's a shame if it won't, as it's a bit of a waste of a bonnet, and of course there's more chance of it matching if it's the bonnet that's on the car. Right, the time has come to get in the car and see if it's warm in there. As you can see, I've got the old the bags in there that absorb moisture because we cleaned the seats, of course, and I'm now just about to sit on them. Right, what do we think? I've got it set to 29 degrees in there. We are up to running temperature now. Oh, it's toasty. Yes, we have hot air. Hot air. Ah, wonderful. Oh, you don't know how pleased I am about that. That is amazing. Oh, that is so lovely and warm. Oh, so there's nothing wrong with the flaps. That is very, very pleasing indeed. Right, so what we got left to do to this car, apart from general clean up and the bits of paint work and what we've just pointed out there. Let me just turn this fan down so you can hear me. Yes, apart from the we cleaned all the seats. We still haven't hoovered in here and cleaned the surfaces yet, the hard surfaces yet. My glasses are steaming up now. The Speedo has got the issues with it when you indicate, as we know, and then there's lights that stay on when you turn the engine off. So we've got to sort that out. Every car I do now comes with a dash cam installed, so I've got to install a dash cam, and then we'll run the cable down here and plug it in. What else have we got to do? We've got to put another little chrome bit on there. I don't think that's broken. No, that moves okay, so they're not broken. Are they moving? Yeah, they are moving. Yeah, so that's okay. So none of that's got to come out or anything. There's a couple of little marks on the seats that still need another going over, as do the door cards. But yeah, so Speedo's got to be replaced. I'm going to leave it for the time being for the MOT. Cambelt's now done. That boot is now done. Bits of paint. Well, what else? I'm sure there was something else. Oh, got to check the air filter. I did the oil change, but I didn't check the air filter. I've got to change that. Oh, so I'm really pleased. It's so lovely and warm in here now. It's so horrible today. Windscreen wipers are good. I think the little bits of moisture on the inside, actually. I think. Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's just where it's been damp in here. Still a few bits to do, but the main bulk of it is done now. That front is done now. It's just a matter of doing those bolts up, and then I don't think I'll bother with the 3 bolts underneath for now. I've got to lie all over the soaking wet floor to do that, so I think I'll leave it, and I'll do it another time. So MOT is next Wednesday. It's either this car or the old Bath, and I cannot remember which I thought one of the indicators wasn't very orange on the back, so I've got new bulbs for those. I've had those. I always keep those in stock, so I might change that bulb. I'm not sure if it's this car or the other one. I'll check in a minute. Apart from what I've just mentioned, we're pretty much there. So it's good that I haven't got to do that. That speeds things up. That was going to cause me some grief, I think, but it's fine. So I think what we'll do is we'll have one more video on this car, and then we'll be done. We have got a buyer waiting for it. I've currently got 11 people waiting for cars. The Arbath is in for MOT tomorrow, so that will hopefully be finished next week. I'll finish that off, just the final bits of cleaning and what have you. There's no paintwork or anything to do on that, and then we can jump back on this one next week, MOT Wednesday, and then we'll have a little bit of time to spend cleaning it up. I've got to touch the wheels up. I've got to clean the wheels. You know, I can't even remember. I've had this car so long, I can't even remember if I've cleaned underneath and done that usual job. I think I have. I'm not sure, so we'll have to double check that. We need to do the underseal stuff under the back axle. There is a possibility that we might get something come back on the MOT as an advisory on here. This is, if you remember, Glenn the mechanic told me to put it through the MOT. I've done bottom arms, as you've seen. There is a possibility top mounts on one side and possibly a shock on the other, possibly. We're going to get it through the MOT first, see what happens. They were only advisories, but he seemed to think the way they were worded, it wasn't right. So he said, chuck it through, before you start replacing stuff, he said, chuck it through the MOT, see what happens. So we may have to replace a shock that side and potentially a top mount as well on this side, maybe, don't know. But that is it for now. We will be back probably next week, might be the week after, because we'll probably have the Arbath video for next week. So I'll carry on cracking on with it. We will see you then. Don't forget, if you are not a subscriber, hit that button. Subscribe to the channel. It's 100% free. If you want to be notified when we upload new videos, hit the notification bell. And what more can I say? Until the next one, as always, thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.